Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today I will be doing something a little special because I just beat the 2345 player. From what country is this? The Belarus. Interesting. He was someone I played against twice before and lost to twice before, but I managed to beat him via a few things, and as you can see, I beat him pretty harshly as well. So I will be going over this game and just explaining a bit of the basics because I rarely needed to calculate in this game. Of course, there were a couple of times where there was a lot of pressure put on me and very heavy attacks, but once you just, stay relaxed, those attacks don't actually mean all that much. Okay, let's check the analysis to see what I mean. I've probably made a couple mistakes in this game, slightly inevitable, and I haven't checked it yet, so I'm kind of curious to see how well I did. Could have made 6 mistakes, could have made 0. I never know. And honestly, it isn't even that important. While I was dominating most of the game, though I threw it away in one move. This is actually quite peculiar, so I want to look at it for a little bit. That is curious. I see what the idea was that I missed though. Is that even if this happens, I want to be sure about this. No, the queen can go back. The queen can go back. Yeah, I don't know why this move is then exactly. There's probably something, a point to be made about dominant control, and that it's fine to put the bishop on here. So yeah, a mistake. Makes sense. But okay, let's just start from the very beginning. Show you a bit of my mindset. So I saw that he played d4 and I was considering no, e6, c6, but honestly d5 is just the best move. It's the only one that's flexible. So I played it. And okay, he played something solid. He was definitely not intent on attacking, which I generally do decent against. But this time I had something more of a thing up my sleeve, so okay, let's go through the opening. He plays a very solid line. I play something that actually shouldn't be played. But yeah, there's probably a way to really punish it with this, basically just announcing I want to develop quickly. But he missed it. 2300 can't see everything, So okay, we made a bunch of mistakes in the opening. Fair enough. I could probably improve my opening theory. My idea behind the knight move was he can definitely not play this, and I can push my pawn and get my bishop out quickly. Just standard stuff. I don't usually pay attention to these pawns, which is something I still need to learn. Moving on, however. So I push it, just threatening to develop. And then, of course, he attacks. Now, it's already easy to go in the wrong here. For example, if you do this, and he does this, and you do this, and he does this. about. What the fuck are you gonna do? Right? So instead, I took this approach, and it's the best move. It's defensive, it keeps it all together. My objective in the opening wasn't actually to gain much of anything. It was simply just to get these things out, get this thing out, castle, be fine. And this queen and this knight and that knight, they can just do as they please, I guess. So he jumps in, fine, I'll just add my bishop. If you can develop, then there's no reason not to develop, then develop. This is what I was saying to myself. Like, don't just play something like this because you're scared of the bishop. Because, well, you know, I'm gonna probably do this, just, okay, I won't go there. Then I'll just put my knight, get my other bishop out, keep it nice and solid. It's just wasting time. I don't like wasting time, so I only did it after he done that. Because what is he going to do with his bishop? And yeah, I was inviting this whole trade. And oh no, my king can't castle. Well, what do I get? I get 2 bishops and an even game. And I'm the lower rated player. If I can just force out a draw, then yay for me, 2-3 extra points. It's kind of a humiliating way to lose, while not actually losing the draw. Most people higher than you will want to avoid that. He backed off because, taking was the best thing, but he just didn't want to. I castled, queen, and of course I was considering this move. I was considering attacking it, I was also considering this. But for now I just threw in the bishop. And yeah, afterwards it made sense why this is bad. That is simply that the bishop has nothing to do. It does nothing. It's a wasted move. But oh well. But basically what I'm doing is I'm being patient, because when this happened, this exchange of him going from G2 to G3, I was already happy. The computer's already happy. I don't have an extra pawn, I don't have extra material, nor do I need it. Just need to be feeling good, basically. If you're feeling good in a position, it's alright. So I was just waiting and just probing, and I was like, okay, let's break this out. Let's do it. Why not? As good as time as any. I got 3 protectors. I was very patient in setting it all up with the queen going to her. And of course, well, if it's recommended to take, then you're definitely not going to feel good after this, with this constant looming threat, and with the queen possibly being able to arrive here and then doing some silly shit. You definitely don't want that. So of course you didn't go for it. I saw this move and I immediately knew what I had to do. And the computer said it's right. Because this is what I was thinking. He basically just did that to himself. He gave me this option. Just immediately. As you can see, I hadn't done anything special in the opening. All I did was he threw an attack at me in the opening, with this and this, and I was patient, defended, and just waited him out to see him. And of course that was a little bit of calculation, but hey. Even without the calculation, let's say you just see that move and you don't know what's happening. You should be noticing this at the very least, right? After that you can of course see that you can do, because my idea was if I just erase these pawns and this pawn and this bishop and place my queen over here, then I win. And then from that I could calculate this move. What did he do? He had to do that. Of course, got a shield. I took a free pawn, and at this point I already knew I won the game. Well, apparently I didn't. But as you will see, I'm not really going to push and force it unless he gives me a chance. Kind of like how a grandmaster just gets a pawn up, then just chills the rest of the game, moves the pawn down the board, makes a queen, and says I win. If you're a pawn up, and I'm 2 pawns up, I wasn't even... If he did something like, oh, I'm gonna take your pawn, and then, oh, I'm gonna take your pawn, you know what I would have done? I would have just let him. I would have just said, sure, take my pawn. Oh, maybe this attack, maybe this attack. Not sure what I'd want. I'd just say, okay, still a pawn up after that. Just patience. He threw that attack at me, and I answered wrong, but he answered wrong, so it didn't matter. And yeah, in hindsight, this is an attack and this is under attack, and I got no way to defend them both. You only saw that later. What a shame. Literally the move after. If he only did it one move earlier, I would have been destroyed. But hey, a 2300 can't see everything. A 2300 is not a grandmaster. You know, they make mistakes, just like you and me. Even international masters do, they slip up. You know, players are still human. Okay, I did this. Probably not the best move, maybe this was better. Ooh, aggressive defense, but like, why bother? I'm safe like this, right? The queen can't just jump over the pawn. Good enough for me. You know. Then he did that, and I had a great opportunity to take. And I was considering it, but I was, as you can see, running a bit low on time. So I'll talk a little bit about it. What if I take? And this is what I didn't like. I didn't really calculate past this. What would I have done in this position? Possibly going for this? Nah, then the queen can just return, right? Or do I just have to chill without a piece? Well, since I wasn't in the mood and giving shit up, I just took a still winning position. Because while the computer may complain, wow, this isn't the best way to win, as long as you're winning, it doesn't really matter. Like, it doesn't matter if this is -5 or -1. It's still winning. Okay, instead of like rook and 2 pawns up, I'm up a rook. So what? Let's just exchange. Push the pawn. He takes it. Apparently that was the best move. Yeah, just takes. He goes there. I offer a queen trade. Best move. The queen trade was simple. I had to defend this, but if you do this, then this, that's annoying. It's unpleasant. So you just exchange queens, and this, well, this is definitely not a problem. So, and he doesn't even have any moves, like I guess this. And let's say we go here, and boom, and boom. And then boom, and boom, and winning. But that's just patience. So I just kicked the knight out, nice. And then I pushed, and then I said I win. The pawns went too far. Now, what would I have done if he took? Well, that's exactly what he did. I mean, what else are you gonna play in this position? Now, the computer says minus 8.8, so I don't even think it would have mattered if I did something like this for. It's like, yeah, okay, but I got my pieces out, and you know, okay, the king is still blowing the fuck out. It's no winning at this point, but he fought, and he fought valiantly. And I just took what's there to take. Didn't blunder a knight. It's more important to defend than attack. This is what I learned from Gold. It's more important to know for sure that you're alive instead of trying to kill the other player. I wasn't really trying to be up like this exchange and have this aggressive pawn. I wasn't trying to do anything. My opponent just imploded once his first attack didn't work. He was like all aggressive and like shoving his pieces and just waiting for me to break and break and break. Then I just didn't. I just held. He couldn't handle that. Most chess players really can't handle it. If you just say, I'm alive, I'm not dead, my king is not checkmated. So he does another blunder, and I check, and I push the knight in. Why did I push the knight in? Why not just, I don't know, queen here? Answer is it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that the computer sees this as a problem, because it's still a win. They are all well coordinated. I can just let them have some attack in the future, like even if this, oh, okay. And then what are you gonna do? Take my pawn, take your knight. Take, I'm up a rook. I win. See? But okay, he exchanged instead, which is something I hoped for, the computer hoped for. Knight in the middle, just chill with the queen. Rook, checkmate here. I have to stop it, push the pawn, and with a minute on the clock, and with no extra time of course, I just missed a checkmate, I suppose. Yeah, there was this. An easy checkmate to see. But I'll cut myself some slack because I had like 1 minute and 12 seconds on the clock. So I was like, okay, I'll just exchange, take the pawn, and then he gave up because, well, even just left like an actual rage quit because, well, what are you gonna do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then like hope for like, I don't know. And then, you know, that pretty much. Like, okay, winner, chicken dinner. And yeah, then I would have just made a queen. And then after that, it's just a matter of this. So whether it's checkmate in 5 or checkmate in 150, a checkmate is a checkmate. So of course calculation did play a role in this game. If I didn't calculate at all, I'd be dead. Sure. I mean, I'm not like at 2100 for nothing. I'm not just sitting there staring at nothing and not thinking, but as you can see, most of my calculations are kind of arbitrary, and most of it just hinges down on the fact that I survived, I did a thing he didn't like he could have just done this, but I suppose he was afraid of this bishop, that in some case I would do this, and then, oh, aggression, and, and then I don't fucking know, aggression, and aggression, haha, your queen is pinned, and, but that's just like imploding the same way he did. I just let him see phantoms, and then I won. But even if he did like this, like, okay, develop, like, oh, but I'm gonna do this. I actually kind of expected that, to do that in the game, right? Like, just here, okay, here, then here, get the bishops out. And if I want to, I could do this, because kind of dubious. It actually loses a pawn, so I wouldn't have gone for it, because why lose a pawn when you can just, I don't know, not lose a pawn. Yeah, maybe this, and probably here, and just say, okay, I'm just gonna move this rook, prepare this, good. See, it doesn't really need any power. You just need to feel good. I'm not gonna be like, oh no, my bishop, this is horrible, I'm literally gonna die now, this is the worst position ever. Oh no, this is his good bishop and I don't have a way to compete against it. I'm literally losing right now, no. Like, if you don't want to take, then okay, bye. So, that was just a game. I basically just kept myself alive, and then my opponent said, here, have the advantage for the rest of the game, except for that one really dumb blunder you did. I mean, yeah, I don't even know what to do. I would probably just have said good game at that point, because I'm not stubborn like that. I would have probably chosen g6 as well, just keeping the king safe, because doing this is just dumb. You're just asking to get completely and utterly annihilated when you do this. Like, what are you even playing for at that point? Okay, that was the video. Have a nice day, have a good time, have a nice dream, and I'll see you all in probably 4 to 5 months. Goodbye.